Well, he just did. He just scored 8 points. That's the thing. He had a career.
Every loss, the weight of every loss, dramatically changed the season.
Listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Yes, you are. You're listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Absolutely.
You get to see these two lovely faces again together. God, I feel like it's been like forever since I saw you, Matt.
I know, man. We've just been, everywhere, man. Just the holidays, it's cold outside, it's rainy outside, this, that, sick, kids, it's just everything, man. It's just everything.
Yeah, it's been an interesting time of year indeed. But you know what, guys? You get to spend time with us for the next hour, maybe hour and a half if we're lucky. We do have a very good show lined up. Actually, a really big show lined up. We are expecting Bob Ritchie, the Furman Paladins head men's basketball coach, to join us at any second. We only have him for 15 minutes, so we're ready to get him going. It was confirmed with SID Jordan Caskey that he will be on. So, I hope. Anyways, guys, let's go quickly run down what we're going to talk about. Look, for those who did not see the breaking news, just came out of the wire. Max Fried has signed for where? We'll be happy to share that just you guys in a minute. And then Matt, I know you saw this. But Juan Soto's ridiculous deal, guys. If you want to know how much it is, we're gonna, if you don't know how much it is, we're telling you now. It's 15 years, $765 million, with the option to opt out after 5 years. But why would you do that when you're getting paid $750 million? We'll talk a little bit about that. I know, oh man,
it's a lot, man. That's a lot.
Insane.
That's a lot.
The transfer portal is it's officially opened, ladies and gentlemen, and some schools really are banking and some not. We'll be glad to share some of that with you in a minute. Hey, guys, Joe Burrow is in the news not only because of Monday Night Football, but something happened to him, his household, that we're going to definitely take a look at and share. Obviously, it's interesting what's going on with that. Hey, stay tuned for that one. Look, the Washington Nationals, as they call them, they have won the draft lottery for the number 1 pick with the LA Angels at number 2. We'll dive a little bit in that one as well. Obviously, in light of Coach Ritchie joining us, we will talk a little bit about the Furman Paladins. They do have a really tough opponent coming up in South Carolina State. We'll ask Coach Ritchie his thoughts about South Carolina State and what is going in the preparations for the team. And then we'll talk a little bit about the NFL and as a whole. Matt, your heart is probably hurting like mine because of what's transpired with the Atlanta Falcons. Folks, we're going to look in a little bit of that one. And is it time to hang it up for Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers? That question has been posed actually on the internet. So we'll look at a little bit of that. Guys, before we go any further, though, Matt, how are you doing, man?
Oh, man, I can't complain, man. Like I said, just ready for this work week to go by, man. Getting ready for some sports. Got to see some Monday Night Football last night, and ready to watch some basketball today. Which reminds me, I got to get my parlays in. If you want to do sports betting or anything like that, guys, Sleeper app. Get the Sleeper app. You can bet on if one person's going to make a basket in the first quarter or stuff like that. Just a shameless plug to put out there. So Sleeper, if you looking for people to sponsor, we're your guys. But anyways, yeah, man, just get ready to watch.
That's your guy, not me, because I would lose money.
Just hey, they sponsor, we'll take it. So, but yeah, man. At the same time, man, just just getting ready for the sports week, man. Let's get ready for the sports week.
Yeah. This just in, folks. Bronny James had his career first ever dunk. Man, I sent you the video, and it was the biggest air ball I have ever seen. So how's that? Bronny James has the potential top going for you there, man.
It's going pretty well because in the G League game, he's had like 16, 5 and something. I mean, in the G League game. So, hey, man, he's a 19, 20-year-old kid, man, so, it's.
Hey, I got a question for you, Matt. You hear about the talk that LeBron James may request a trade from the LA Lakers?
I don't think so. His family's in LA. I think he's more so on the. He's more so on the family, like
NBA Countdown did mention it, and they said that Bronny was is a package that has to go along with him. Is what it was mentioned today. So
yeah, I doubt it, man. His family's in LA. He's not moving from LA again. He's not moving anymore. I think Lakers is the last team he'll be on. The Lakers aren't going to trade him. They'll be fools to trade him. Plus, they won't get. There's nothing they can really get back. I mean, he has a massive contract. What can they really get back?
Exactly.
And to be honest with you, they're not going to get equal value back. So that'll be a waste of time.
Absolutely. Hey,
he still puts butts in the seats, guys. He still puts butts in the seats.
Hey, all right. Let's dive into it. We'll give a shout out to our sponsor because we're gonna kind of kill time. Hoping Coach Richie is on literally any minute. I mean, I might have to call him. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Guys, the breaking news just came down probably about 30 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Max Fried is no longer a Brave, as everybody knows. He opted out of his contract. Not opted out, but it was like a basically a lowball offer to stay for 1 year kind of thing. It didn't come to fruition. Max Fried has signed an 8-year, $218 million deal with a New York team, but it's not the Mets. It is actually the New York Yankees. Yes, Max Fried has done what almost every Atlanta Brave that has left Atlanta has done, and they went to the New York Yankees. Everybody knows a notable catcher for the Atlanta Braves, Brian McCann, went from Atlanta, who is a homegrown Brave himself, played at Duluth High School, and he went to the New York Yankees. He did come back and basically finish out his tenure as an Atlanta Brave, but
we'll call it that.
We're gonna call it that. But he went to the Yankees. So, Matt, what do you think?
Great move for Max because he's financially set up. Him and his family, they're set up for generations off of this contract alone. Good move for him. Good move for the Yankees, and man, it kind of softens the blow for losing Soto a little bit, man, for them. Just to pick up Fried. So it's just. I'm not to say it was kind of a trade because if it was a trade, three-team trade, the Braves lose out on it. But man, the Yankees will always be, they always be looking to compete. The thing about baseball, the good thing about baseball is there are no salary caps. So,
as we clearly just saw that, folks. And what are we talking about that one? Juan Soto's $750 million deal. Guys. As you see, I'm in a loss of words, but $51 million here. Matt, here's all I got to tell you to do. Let me wear his jersey for 1 year. Hell, sit me on the bench.
One game.
What? Oh, yeah, that's true. But the whole season, I mean, I'll stay there for 6 months on the Mets roster just to collect that $51 million, and then I'll retire because I'm set financially forever, and then some. A lot of people actually are they both shun Alex Anthopoulos and also applaud him because the last time the Atlanta Braves did a quote big name signing, it was an absolute bust. And Matt, you have to know who I'm talking about. Played for the Tampa Bay Rays. Back then they were called Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Mr. B.J. Upton. Yeah, he was a bust.
Upton boys.
Yep, Justin Upton and B.J. Justin did way better than B.J., but they're still both pretty bust. So everybody's questioning why Alex Anthopoulos is not opening the checkbook, and he has mentioned they will. And our good friend Nick Shalini of 680 Fan did say this to us before. The Atlanta Braves, they're not hurting for money. They're not a cheapskate kind of organization. They have the money, but do they have? It's like they're trying. They don't want to lack the sense, just because it's XYZ. We're not going to throw $3 trillion at them. No, they're gonna. Yeah. They do their diligence. But people have said AA is he's kind of going down a little bit. I don't know. The people call him, as they say, it's complacent. So I don't know. What do you think, man? Do you think it's more complacent with him or cautionary? What do you think?
I think it's more cautionary, man. I think he goes ahead and he looks, man. I don't think he wouldn't have let Freed go if he didn't have somebody that's ready to take his place. I think he has a plan, like he always does. He always has a plan. And like every season, there's always somebody new that we bring up, man. Bring up from AAA ball. That's like, wow. So, I think he has a plan, and I think he's going to, execute it. And let's just wait. It's not over with yet. It's not over with.
That's right. It's we still have a lot of off season to go for the for baseball. Heck, guys. I mean, it is only December the 10th. Which, by the way, I got to give a quick shout out to all the veterans who did survive, and also those who unfortunately perished on December 7th, 1941. Pearl Harbor happened 3 days ago, 1941. So we want to send our hearts out to all those who have served, unfortunately, who did perish in Pearl Harbor, and all the men and women who partook in World War II. You guys are forever legends in our minds, our hearts, everything. You guys did an amazing thing for this country. So just want to give a quick shout out on that one. All right, so I did hear from Jordan Caskey. He's going to reach out to Bob to see what's going on. So hopefully we hear something. Also, guys, I don't care what you say. Look, I don't even know what to call them. The LA Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, LA Angels. I don't know what the heck to call them. Great coach, be the most beloved coach for the Atlanta Braves. He's over there, and it is the LA Angels. They're actually a really cursed organization.
Yes, they are.
They had the third best odds for the number one pick, and the the Miami Marlins, they were tied with the Colorado Rockies for the best odds at 22.5% to land the number one pick. And the Nationals, folks, they had the fourth best odds at 10%. And what do? They land the number one odds for the number one pick in the 2025 MLB draft. It's only the third time in franchise history they've ever done it. With the Rockies and the Marlins. Marlins fell to the 7th, and the Rockies take the 4th position. Angels, though, gosh, you had the third best odds, and you didn't get anything. Now, the White Sox, though, here's the crazy thing. Despite losing 121 games, they were not eligible for a lottery pick.
What?
I mean, you really can't, it says of the top 6 selections because of the CBA, it stipulates that a team that pays into the revenue sharing plan cannot hold a lottery pick in consecutive drafts. Remember, the Chicago White Sox chose 5th in the 2024 draft. So it just goes to show you can be the absolute dumpster fire. Heck, you could go 0-162, but if you had a top lottery pick the previous year, you're not getting it again. So that really, Oh, that really hurts. And the same thing with the Athletics. They were ineligible because the teams that receive revenue sharing cannot have consistent lottery picks. Yeah. Matt, what do you think about this? Obviously last year, the Guardians, they won the number one pick. The Guardians had a really good season last year. The White Sox, absolute worst team ever known to man right now. Can't get a break, can they?
That sucks, man. I think they need to kind of change that rule or something. They need to do something, man. You gotta do something to help these lackluster teams out. Everybody does it. The NFL, if you have the worst record, you get the first pick. In the NBA, you have a better chance at the lottery, but you're a lottery team. If you don't make the playoffs, you're a lottery team. That's how the NBA works. Same thing with the NHL, man. I mean, so man, it's just, well, man, it's tough. I know it's tough, but they'll figure it out, man. All sports eventually turn that corner where they get it right. So hopefully they get it right soon.
Ron Washington, man, I feel bad for him. Look, he's a great coach. He did great things at Texas. He did phenomenal things in Atlanta. And he got that one last little itch to be a coach again for the Angels.
Yeah.
Had a real bad season last year. Had a chance to get the number one pick, and they don't get it. Do you think the Angels are a cursed organization?
Oh. I just think, every organization goes through a string of bad luck, man. I mean, I think it's just that time there. And those teams are usually greatly rewarded. So they just got to hold on for a little bit. Their fans need to hold on for just a little bit. Trust me, we know. Moving on.
But think about it, though, Matt. It's been the last time the Angels were in the World Series, or basically really did anything, and they won the World Series. I was a high school, and I was a senior in high school, which was 2002. It's majority of the fans, they don't even know what it's like to win a World Series for them, and then also they haven't been to the playoffs thinking since 2013 or 14. So again, 10-year-old, the newest fans, they don't even know what it's like for the Angels to even go to the postseason.
That's insane.
Oh my God. You gotta wonder what is going on down there. Did they not eat their Wheaties when they were kids? Did they rub some bad juju or what? Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and cut this short because we have our special guest tonight. He is the head men's basketball coach of your Furman Paladins. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Coach Bob Ritchie. Coach Ritchie, how are we doing, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for coming on. We really do appreciate it. I know you're an extremely busy man. You guys have a phenomenal opponent coming up tomorrow. Just thank you so much. We really can't thank you enough for coming on.
No, my pleasure, man. We just had practice, and then my son actually had a game tonight, so just getting home and can help with the littles here in a second. But glad to spend a few minutes with you guys.
Hey, by the way, congratulations. Jordan told me you guys just welcomed a new one to the world. How's it going being a dad again?
Yeah, I mean, we I guess hopefully it keeps us a little young, but yeah, we got 4 kids now, so a lot going on. We got 2 bigs and 2 littles, so it just old ones are high school, middle school, and then we got a 3-year-old and a newborn. So it's a good basketball family, first half, second half.
That's right. I have 4 girls myself. I have a 6 going on 16, a 5, a 4, and a 4.5 month, all girls. So wow. I'm in trouble with that one. And then Matt has a daughter. She is 9 going on 19. So we're all struggling, So Coach Ritchie, you guys had obviously an amazing run a few years ago. Everybody remembers the shot heard around the world where you knocked Virginia out of the tournament. And so I have to let you know a little backstory. I used to be at the Fan Upstate, and I was actually producing that game with Dan when he made that call and that 3-pointer that went in. Both me and Lonzo were in there, and he goes, "Watch, they're going to make this and win." I'm like, "You think?" He's like, "Yeah." And then all of a sudden, you guys make the three-pointer, and we go, oh, we jump and we scream. And he's like, you got to pay attention to the board. But I was like, holy moly, that was amazing. And then last year, I think it was kind of an anomaly. It was not the season that, Furman had hoped for. But this year, you guys have come out red hot, like Red October. You're 9-1. What do you attribute to the early success?
Well, I mean, I think it's our program is back to just playing to the values of how we built all this, and we've always tried to pride ourselves on being great teammates, understanding our identity, how we've got to play, and really always making sure that we have complementary basketball with just guys that are willing to really fly around defensively, but also offensively to move the ball and move bodies and play as one. And I think the alignment in our program is back to where it's typically been. And we've this is our eighth season. We've had 21 seasons, and we've prided ourselves a lot on developing players and keeping that consistency of performance. And I think this is a lot of work from a great off season. We did lose some guys to the portal, but we also kept 8 players, which is a high number in today's time. And I think, we were able to really hit on some guys in the portal that really align with our program values and what we stand for. And I think just, it's got the group playing connected. They're all playing as one, and they're just finding ways to win games. They're not always pretty. We've had some deficits the last, in Florida Gulf Coast, we were down 13 with 9 minutes to play and found a way to win that. The other night playing Princeton, we were down 7 at one point in the second half, climbed back and found a way to win that one. And, outside of the game to Kansas, who at the time #1 team in the country and obviously very talented, the other 9 games we've come out on top, and a lot of it has not been a particular hero guy. It's been more of a collected effort, and that's what always makes this a lot of fun.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. Once again, thank you for coming on. But piggybacking off of what you said about the games against Kansas, Gulf Coast, and Princeton. After that loss at Kansas, what message did you give your team? Because you guys really executed down the stretch in both of those previous 2 games, the Florida Gulf Coast game and the Princeton. So after the Kansas game, what message did you give to your team?
Well, the Kansas game, obviously, I thought Kansas played really well. I thought we could have played a lot better, but mainly it was, we didn't make as many shots as we had been making. But once we really kind of broke down the Kansas film, we played really well for about a 16, 17-minute spurt. Had a poor finish before halftime there, and then came out in the second half and they pushed the lead from 18 to 16, and the game kind of got away from us. My message was pretty simple, like, understand we don't have to beat a team like Kansas the rest of the year. We won't see a team like that unless we make it to the Final Four, more than likely. And they're playing in front of their home crowd, and we've been on the road all over the place. It's our 3rd road game and changing 2 different time zones. And really, I just kind of encouraged them to just stay with it. Like let's not overreact, to losing to the #1 team in the country. Let's take out of this what we can. There's some things that when you play the #1 team in the country, there's going to be some things that they expose, and it's going to give us some things to work on. And I thought our group did a really good job of coming back and keeping a good spirit and keeping an attitude of improvement and trying to find ways to get better. And I think they were rewarded with it with the last 2 games.
I asked Jordan, like, what do you guys have to do because South Carolina State, they're not a pushover. They're a really good team. They had a 3-point game finish with Xavier. They had a 7-point game against Samford. What message are you going to give to or have you given to the guys regarding tomorrow's opponent? Obviously, like I said, they are 5 and 6, but they're playing really good basketball as well.
Yeah, they're really good, and Eric's done a great job with them. They press, they play a bunch of different defenses. They play very, very hard, and like you said, they played Xavier to a 3-point game. Beat Charleston Southern by 20 last night. Played Samford tight, and so the good thing about us in this group is we've just really tried to focus on let's keep trying to get better. Let's take some things from the Princeton game that that we've got to continue to improve on, and just keeping our focus and keeping our edge. And as we navigate finals, and as we had the weekend and try to rest up a little bit, we still got to keep our edge. And I think as you go through the season, it's not always what you do, it's how you do it, and can you do things in a connected fashion, and can you bring more energy than your opponent? And those are the things that we've done a pretty good degree of so far this season, but we got to continue to do it.
I want to apologize. I keep thinking today is Friday for some reason. I'm in the Friday mentality. That's what I kept saying tomorrow. But, SoCon play is coming up. Eastern Tennessee, Sanford, Western Carolina, Chattanooga even. That you guys, y'all play each other really tough every year. Like I said, I had the privilege of getting to be the producer for you all for a couple years. And, there were times I'd be like on pins and needles listening to the game. SoCon play, honestly, I think there should be more than one team that should be getting into the NCAA tournament because everybody plays great basketball in SoCon play. What team are you eyeballing most in SoCon play that that team you have to give 200% every game you play them?
I tell you this about our league. It's incredibly balanced. And, last year we had some of the best parity in a conference that you could find across college basketball. And I think that's what made it so fun was just because every single night, you had a different challenge. You had a great, you're going against a great coach, you're going against a great system. And, we had a lot of parity top to bottom in the league. And, I think it's one of those situations where with the portal and a lot of new guys and a lot of moving parts, it's going to take all these non-conference games for teams to really get a feel for, hey, what's a team's true identity and, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, where are opportunities. And, I think for us, it's as cliche as it sounds. I mean, the most important game is the next game. And anytime you want to win a championship, like you've got to take them one at a time and you got to make sure you don't have slip ups. You got to make sure you don't take any opponent for granted. I think you've seen that a lot with some of the football scores have been super inconsistent in a lot of fashions. And I think you're going to see more of that in this quote unquote new era, just more emotions and there's more parity and you got the portal and, you got a lower ceiling across college basketball because, at the end of the day, it's going to be hard for these teams to stack talent because people can leave immediately now. And then you have a higher floor because of the portal because now all of a sudden, if you don't have a good year, you can go add some talent quicker that's older. You don't have to start over with freshmen. And so the ceiling's been brought down, the floor's been brought up. And so you have an incredible amount of parity in college sports right now. And I think it's making, it made Saturdays fun football wise. And I think you're going to see the same thing in basketball. And, if you're not ready to play on a certain night, you're going to get beat. And I think the teams that can continue to bring urgency night in, night out, continue to play the identity and continue to get better as the season goes on. Those are the ones that you're going to see, finishing on the top of their leagues.
You did play two players who did transfer out. One of them was an exhibition game with JP Pegues. Phenomenal career he did at Furman. Then you played Carter Witt against Belmont. You guys did a phenomenal game against them. What advice would you give to a player like JP Pegues or Carter Witt? I mean, you guys have had phenomenal talent in general, but what would you give to the up and coming kind of players that are identical to their level of play?
Are you talking about players for us or players that we're recruiting or
for you? Like, so you had, say you have a player who plays almost identical to like JP Pegues did, who is consistent, who is a leader on and off the court, those kind of players. What advice would you give to a player that is possibly going to choose Furman as their next adventure for the next 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now in college basketball, there's so many different elements, and each situation is going to be unique. Each situation is going to be its own. There's going to be multiple factors to it, and each family, each player is going to have to decide, what's their desired ROI on this. What's their return on investment? Is it, hey, I want to make as much money as I can possibly make? Is it, I want to get an unbelievable degree and prepare myself for what's next after basketball? Is it, I want to have a key role on a team so that I could potentially help my pro stock? I think it's, if you want to be a pro in this, you need to be in a top 2 or 3 role on your roster so that you can build a resume to allow yourself to be seen, to be able to play at the next level. And, what's the opportunity to play? What's in there's so many different factors, and what do you want to be part of? It's one of those situations, what type of culture do you want to be a part of? And all the situations are going to have their own unique factors to them, and I think you got to deal with them in a one-on-one fashion. And I think all over college basketball, I do think you got to want to be where you are, and you got to run a program and recruit to your identity so that you get people that are aligned to your values and what you're trying to do. And I think that's when the fun takes place. That's when you start to have a group that's willing to, be better than the sum of their parts, because they really buy into one another. And so, look, we've had some guys leave, we had some guys stay. Jalen Slauson decided to stay, Mike Bothwell decided to stay. We have some guys on this roster. PJ Smith averaged 10 a game last year. He could have gone somewhere. Garrett Haynes won a tournament game. I mean, he could have gone somewhere. Like everybody can go somewhere now. It's just, what's your desire, return on investment? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 20 years? Do you want to try to leverage this into helping you take those next steps in life? Or is this, hey, this is strictly a business decision and I need to go where I make the most money? And you know what? You got to support those guys too. And so there's just a lot more that you have to decipher in the recruiting process. There's a lot more that you got to kind of get underneath. And clearly for us, we don't really have any interest in being, anybody's prep school or junior college. We want to get guys that really take a lot of pride in wearing the jersey and really want to continue to build this into a very special program. And we've had more of those, that have decided, like I was telling somebody today, everybody wants to talk about what left. We still had 8 players return. We got 4 seniors that have 13 years of the jersey. That's rare in college basketball right now. Like we have some guy, Garrett Heen, 5 years, right? Tyrese Huey, 4 years, PJ Smith, 2 years. Nick's the only one that's a senior that's a first year guy. So like we've got some continuity that really helped us get to where we want to go. This wasn't just like, hey, you had some guys leave and go to the portal and you had nothing in the tank. Like we are a very systematic program. Sometimes in college basketball, people think that's a bad thing. I believe when the Warriors were winning those championships, they had a system. I think when the Bulls won those championships, they had a system. I think when the Lakers won those championships, they had a system. I think people like there's systematic programs, and then there's more free flowing. Go out there and play, and you got to create more shots for yourself. But I think what this is shown here is the system's going to get looks, right? And if we move the ball and we value the ball and we work with one another, then at the end of the day, like we're going to get looks. And you got to get guys that embrace that, and then you got to get a group that's willing to go out there and defend. And if we can do those things and continue to develop players, we believe that we can continue to be a consistent program.
Absolutely. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, I might have actually a couple questions for you. The first question I have is pretty much since the induction of the NIL into college sports, have you noticed that you had to change any of your like recruiting tactics up or anything of that nature? That's my first question. And my second question is pretty much, man, what is it like playing at the Wells right now instead of Timmons?
Yeah, so the first one is, going in terms of NIL, I think it definitely changes some things. There's no doubt about it. You have to really, for us, it goes back to what we were talking about a little while ago. If it's the deciding factor, Furman's probably not going to be the place just because there's going to be schools that are going to be able to pay more money. If it's a factor and everything else checks off, then we'll be competitive in that situation. And, it's one of those things where it's not changing. It's not going backwards. This is what it is. I'm actually a proponent of it. I think that it from a capitalistic standpoint, it makes no sense for us to all watch, the college basketball tournament that brings in billions of dollars, and to think that the guys making shots out there get no money from this. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. So I do think the revenue share model makes a lot of sense. I think it's going to be better than the model that we have now. I
Yes.
like the direction all this is going. I think it's going to have to continue to be cleaned up, and it's the same thing. Like I'm just a believer fundamentally. Go out there and do your job, and all that stuff takes care of itself, right? Go out there and focus on how much you're getting, and then all of a sudden your job starts to slip. And I think, for us, it's like, hey, we just got to focus on getting the right people here that want to be here, that see the differences that we have at Furman, and they draw to those differences. And then we have to continue to pull in revenue and support to be able to take care of our players at a competitive level for our level. And so it's changed it. I think that the dynamics are different. I think the formula to win's the same, and I don't think that's going to change. And I think people are kind of missing that. Going on to the well part, we've played a couple games a year at the well for the last 4 or 5 years outside of COVID. So we know the locker room situation, we know the floor situation, like we kind of have that routine down. I'll tell you this, it was awesome in there on Saturday for Princeton. We had a pretty good crowd and the lower bowl was pretty packed, and it got pretty loud in there in the second half. I think with as big as the place is, you need 4 to 5 thousand in there to really kind of fill the juice. And I think as we get into conference play and people start making that transition from football season to basketball season, I'm hoping we can have some fun, Saturday afternoons and some Wednesday night weekday games in there.
So, Coach Richie, I left you a voice message. I don't know if you heard it. My daughter so she has 3 schools she wants to go to. The first one is she wants to go to Clemson because my wife, family here, they're Clemson people. Second one is she wants to go to Furman because I was the producer. She actually made a Furman turkey last Thanksgiving, like a little cutout for her class, and she made it a Furman cheerleader. And the third team, and this is actually the best one, is she wants to go to Vanderbilt because they have cool uniforms. But I absolutely adore how much of a fan my kids are of Furman, and we unfortunately didn't get a chance to go to a Furman football game this year. I actually had a widowmaker heart attack last July, so I'm still recovering from that.
Wow.
But we didn't get. Yeah, it was a very scary situation. Yeah, I wish that on nobody because your life can blink and it's over with. It's so quick. And my daughter, but all my girls, now the fourth one she doesn't know it yet, but the third, all out of the 3, they love Furman. And when my daughters heard that you were coming on, my oldest was like, "Daddy, please let him know about my turkey." So I had to let you know about the turkey. And then also, I will say this, getting to hear Dan and Tom call your games. This would be year 3. I can't tell you how big of a fan I've become. I've adapted. The Furman is my team in South Carolina. My team is the University of Hawaii. Completely different. We actually had the athletic director on our show a few weeks ago, Craig Angelis, and we had a lot of fun doing that episode. And I can tell you, we have had a blast having you on. I know you're a very busy person, and I mean, the fact that you took out time to come talk to us means an absolute world to us. But I'm going to give you some parting words from my daughter. She's actually over here. She's looking at me smiling ear to ear. She said that she's saying, "Tell him I said go Dens." And and I promise you, Coach, we are going to come to a few of the games. When we do, I want to come down and be able to shake your hand, and I want my daughter to meet you if that's perfectly fine by you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Arrange that with Jordan, and I'd love to meet you and your daughter. So, hey, no relation to Scott, is there?
No. So when Dan told me that 2 years ago, he's like, "I got something funny to tell you." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "I have a Scott Keeler sitting next to me." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's crazy." Well, there is a coach though in college. He used to be the coach at Sam Houston State. Now he is at Temple. Casey Keeler is related to me. I found that out through family genealogy. So we do have that in common, but no, Scott Keeler is not related to me, unfortunately. But I'm looking forward to getting the chance to meet Scott because Dan said great things about him as well.
That's awesome. Well, hey, enjoyed talking with you guys, and yeah, if y'all make it to a game, definitely let me know, and look forward to meeting you here soon.
Sounds good. Hey, tell the guys, go have fun playing this weekend against South Carolina State. We are cheering you guys on. We're going to be loud and we're going to be proud because you guys are Greenville's team. So go Dens.
Let's go. Y'all have a great night.
Take it easy, Coach.
All right. Bye.
Oh my God. That was so much fun. Oh, Matt, I'm sorry. I was giddy. Hold on. I got some breaking news. I got someone coming. Wait. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt, this is 3 episodes in a row we get this beautiful face. What is going on, Shane?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Sorry, a little late, but a great conversation you guys just had, man. And I'm pumped up, man. Go Dens.
Oh my God. Like I'm so like I said, I've gotten the privilege to hear Dan call Furman's games for the last 2 years. This will be year 3 listening to, because I will listen, because Dan is a great individual. As you guys know, we have promoted Dan's Grand Slam Ministries for Giving Tuesday. Dan has been a guest on our show, which I talk to Dan a lot. He is a very uplifting, he's a very positive individual, very caring. And you want to talk about somebody who bleeds purple? That's Dan. Dan Scott is a paladin through and through. And I had so much fun having him on. Matt, what did you think?
Oh man, that was a great episode, man. Well, not great episode. That was a great interview, man. I think he was. I know, right? It is all. They're always great episodes, man. But that was great having him on, man. Got to learn a lot of information, man. Got to kind of.
What stood out the most, though, was the NIL. When you asked that question about NIL, he was able to go into it in depth, and it really is an eye opener what he said.
Yeah, you got to pick the brain of a coach, man, of the head coach. So, man, it was great. It was great, man. Very informative.
Absolutely. And guys, if you don't know what Matt was talking about, why you asked why they're playing at the Wells and not Timmons Arena. So Furman got the largest one-time anonymous donor. Well, they say it's anonymous. They know who it was, but an anonymous donor donated $40 million to Furman. So Timmons is getting a $40 million renovation. Timmons Arena is a beautiful arena. Look, for the campus of Furman, Matt, I know, unfortunately, you haven't had the privilege to see it. You will be seeing it, though. Shane, have you had the privilege to see what Furman's campus looks like?
Oh man, I go by it just about every weekend. I go up to the mountains from here. It's right there, 276-25. So I get to see it, man. And they've done some decorations the last time I went by there. So hey, it looks real good. I mean, just what I've seen it passing through there real quick.
Sorry, my dog was eating cat food. Yes, like it really is. It's a beautiful campus, beautiful everything, beautiful stadium.
TR's a pretty place.
Yes, and Matt, what TR means is Travelers Rest. Check it out. It's a beautiful town. Gorgeous town.
See, I've only been up here a little while, but I'm starting to get the lingo.
You get the lingo, yeah, just a little bit, right? I mean, you got TR. Let's see, what else is there? I mean, shoot. I mean, what was Easley's old nickname was Sleasley. Come on, that was a stupid name, but yeah, that was the name that was given for a while. But going on with Timmons, though, they're doing the $40 million renovation. They're putting in so Timmons used to kind of be like a dual facility. It was never really only solely basketball. It was never solely auditorium. It's kind of like a mixture of both. And it's been in dire need of some serious upgrades for a long time. And so the $40 million donation that came in, they're going to put new surroundings inside. You're going to have new entryway. You're going to, if you get a chance, look at Wofford. Okay. Wofford is an example. You come in and you literally are right there at the field house. It's beautiful. They're going to have some restaurants inside of Timmons. They're going to have some more fan shops. They're going to have new lighting, new courts, new locker rooms, everything. It's going to look phenomenal. So this year, it's going to take I think they said it's going to take a year and a half to get fully renovated in time for the latter part of the 2025-26 season. So all year this year, they're playing at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in downtown Greenville. Which, by the way, Matt, I don't know if I told you, Shane may know this too, but there's $120 million that's sitting right now ready to renovate Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Wow. And what are they doing? They put it on hold because they want the public's input as to how can they make the wells better. So good things are happening all around Greenville.
WNBA team?
I wish. I hope. Fingers crossed. That would be good to get it. Trust me. Like Trey Davis, I've seen some great Christian music concerts at Timmons over here. Look, Timmons is a beautiful facility. I'm looking forward So, for 2 years, I didn't have the luxury of getting a chance to go to a Furman basketball game. Yes, I got to produce it. I absolutely enjoyed it, but it's just something about being at an event that makes it more special. Matt, you can attest to that, right? You go to an Atlanta Hawks game. It looks fine and dandy on Bally Sports. You're hearing Bob Rathman and Dominique Wilkins call the game, but it's just something about going. Now, I haven't had the privilege yet to go to State Farm Arena. I did when it was Phillips, but they renovated it to become State Farm Arena. It's something different about going to State Farm Arena versus watching on TV, right?
Yes, that's absolutely correct, man. You got the food. You have, just the aura, man. Seeing the players at warm-ups, man, just shooting around. It's just different. It's different, man. So it's way different.
It just hits differently, y'all.
Yeah, it does. It does, man. It does. It's just a different vibe, a different feeling, man. And I'm telling you, you can start going to games, man. You can't really look at the game the same on TV, man. There's times where I try to find different camera angles of games instead of watching it on TV. Whereas my view, I try to watch it from a different camera angle because you can go to different websites and they have that floor seat camera angle, or they have them over the top camera angles and things like that. So yeah, man. I mean, once you start going to these games, man, and having a good winning experience, so no, I'm sorry, Panther fans, all that stuff, once you start having good winning experiences, you'll be good.
Hey,
I have had.
I've
Go
seen
ahead,
it.
Shane.
I've seen it plenty of times. I've Hornets games. You go right up there. They may not have won much, but hey, they they win a couple.
I heard the
times
Spectrum
a year.
Center is a nice place, though.
Yeah,
It is, and man, you go up there, you get on the tram and head to Uptown, which is really downtown. If you don't know the area, but you head there to Uptown right on the tram and lets you off right like not a block from the arena, so you can park out of town. What we normally do is we go to the best wings in the world. We go get that. And
Wait, that's an actual place called the Best Wings in the World?
No, not the best wing.
Oh.
That's not the name of it, but best wings in the world, Hooters.
Okay.
So we go there. we go eat at Hooters, and we go over to the parking garage and take like a 13-minute tram into Uptown and get off right there by the stadium and have a good time. Done it a couple times. The stadium, Bank of America for the Panthers, not far down the road from there. So they've got a good kind of, how when Atlanta had everything right down there by the airport and the underground and all, how MARTA came in. That kind of, they're starting to get that way too. But it's a little bit better travel experience without having to go through the underground to get to MARTA or anything like that.
So, you just hit the nail on the head. I was about to say, Matt, we know what it's like to get on MARTA, and people say MARTA is smarta. Don't always know if that's true because you do get your eccentric individuals through 5 Points and through everywhere. But, it really is cool to folks, if you don't know, the Atlanta Falcons, back then we had the Georgia Dome. You literally get off MARTA, go up an escalator, and go up another escalator, and you walk right in, basically, to the Georgia Dome. Now they have it with State Farm Arena, and you literally have to walk it's a little bit of like a block and a half walk to the Atlanta Falcons, but you pass by State Farm Arena, so you get the chance to see the prettiest of two. But God, man, I'm looking forward to going to a Furman game and just having fun. And like I said to Coach Richie, Addison is like the diehard Furman girl. And I'll find that picture and I'll send it to you guys as well. And I'll post it on the Facebook page of the Sportz Nutz so you guys can see. You can see that my daughter really did make a turkey, a Furman cheerleader turkey.
okay.
So, and Addison is she just went upstairs, but she was smiling ear to ear. Look, Trey said I saw an NXT PLE. I'm guessing it's a wrestling tournament at the Spectrum Center. It's nice. I think State Farm Arena is a little better, actually. Little side note on there, Trey. State Farm Arena used to be called Phillips Arena. They built it in the late 90s when early 2000s when the Omni was the dumpster fire that it was. It was just a dirty arena. It's old. And so back then they had the Hawks play at both the Georgia Dome and also play at Alexander Memorial Coliseum, which is the home of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And they renovated to State Farm Arena, and Matt, he'll tell you he's been to a few, and it's unlike any other arena he has ever been to. So, with that being said, Joe Burrow is in the news, but he is not in the news just because it was a Monday Night Football game last night. Which, by the way, did you guys happen to see the player for Dallas? I think honestly, the injury he sustained is career-ending. When you tear your ACL, your MCL, and your PCL, it's almost 100% sure you're done for the year. What do you think about that injury? Did you see it, by the way, Shane?
I didn't see it with the weather that we've had up here the past couple of days. I was in bed by about 8 o'clock, so I watched some History's Greatest Mysteries and fell asleep by 9. But I did catch a couple clips. My favorite clip of all was seeing the simulcast of
The Simpsons
to win the game and the Simpsons game.
Yes, that was really cool. Did you guys see Mo Sizzler running the touchdown parts for Jamar Chase?
Well, I tell you, Lisa did it in the game and made Homer miss big time on that cast. So I mean, it's pretty great to see how especially with other companies and the millions of dollars that we spend to watch, as customers, they get to watch these types of events. First we saw Nickelodeon with the Slime cast. Now we've seen the Simpson cast. Disney, ABC, ESPN, they're all getting in on the action now, from what we see. So I mean, it's good to see. It's a fun way to introduce it to kids in a way that they would like to watch. I mean, Simpsons, I wasn't allowed to watch it till I was like 13 or so. So I mean that might not be the best ones to promote it, but all in all, the game was pretty good. And even with the game the way it was, and the way Cincinnati beat Dallas, Dallas really proved that that they're no slouch, and given their record could be better, but they're dealing with a whole lot of injuries and a new offensive line in that situation. But the biggest news after this game is now Carolina Panthers are a favorite, according
for
to
the first time since 2000. I saw that.
I
saw that.
Yes, 2 years, and they're a favorite at home against Cowboys. I don't. Hey, the way they've been playing, yes, but given track history and stuff, once everything's going good as a Panthers fan, you learn that it's going to go this way. It might go quick. It might go on a slow decline. Okay. But it goes.
Look at his face, by the way. Look at Matt's face. Matt is literally saying the exact same thing for that hat he's wearing. The same damn team we cheer on. So we'll talk about this. But to answer your question, Trey, they did not show the injury, thankfully, because you wouldn't want to see it. It's gruesome. It was bad. But so Joe Burrow, unfortunately, folks, his house was broken into during Monday Night Football. Yes, it's all over the news, all over. Like I'm watching the Inside Edition was just on NBC Nightly News. Or Lester Holt was just on. No, I'm not old. Don't call me old, Matt. But they're talking about Joe Burrow's house was broken into on Monday Night Football. Look, we've seen other high-end celebrities who also had their houses broken into during important games. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce was broken into in October. Milwaukee Bucks forward Bobby Portis had his house broken into on November 2nd. The Timberwolves, Mike Conley's home, it was burglarized September the 15th while he was at a Minnesota Vikings game.
Wow.
Bobby Portis offered a $40,000 reward for additional information. And guys, it brings back to the point of, look, I understand you have this. Look, I get it. Now, Matt, have you seen Joe Burrow's home? How big that big home is?
I have, man, and I will say, man, all these names that you've named, it was all the same thing. They weren't there. That has me to believe that they're all inside jobs. They might want to check their cousins and uncles.
I mean, you got to wonder, but I get it. NBA or pro players in general, they make a lot of money, but it's okay to announce, and to a degree, you make money. It's absolutely okay. But Joe Burrow's home is like a 12-bedroom home. First off, it's him and I think his wife or whatever. I don't even know if he's married. But it's just the two of them. Why do you need so many home bedrooms in your house? I don't know. But his look, Trey Davis just said there has to be a connection, perhaps agents. Hey, you never know.
Agents
never know.
Agents make too much off the top already. They're fine.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, they said the house was ransacked. Correct me if it's either his fiance, wife, girlfriend. I don't know. She was freaking out or something like that. Didn't know what to do. But what are your thoughts on all these high-end athletes getting in their homes burglarized recently?
They need to hire better security.
Yes, absolutely. Hire better security. What do you think, Shane?
I could probably get them better security for pennies on the dollar. If they, hey, just my information's down there. Just send me a DM. We can talk about
it. Most of these athletes should already be living in gated communities where they have their own security patrolling. I mean, you got places up here just in like Swanee in different areas, man, Alpharetta, where they have somebody at the guard at the gate that lets people in and out, usually from very, 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 very big houses like that. So that's what I'm thinking.
I got one for you.
It has to be like an inside.
You know our good friend Jamal Anderson, Matt?
Yeah.
Mr. Dirty Bird. So I get the privilege to go to his house once in a while. They have a guard that is at the entrance of there's 3 entrances to the neighborhood. There's a guard station and they're armed at every entrance. They will call Jamal on his phone. He has to give a code to let him know that they are actually speaking to the guards. He will then verify that he is expecting, because on a daily basis, they have to send a rundown of people they were expecting to come to their house. So he had to verify that I was coming over. And then while I go in there, he's only three roads down from this particular entrance. I'm not going to share where his entrance is, y'all. Don't ask. But there is another station inside there that you have to reaffirm with the guard. They take a picture of your tag, take a picture of your driver's license. Oh, they are on you before you haven't even had a chance to get to that person's house. So I go to Jamal's house. Jamal has a beautiful home, great home. He does have like 5 or 6 cars, which is expected from an former NFL player. But I can tell you, you guys hit the nail on the head. Better security. And he lives over near the Chateau Alon, which, Matt, you know exactly where Chateau Alon is, right?
I do.
Exit 120. I'm going to give the exit 126 is where he lives off. That's all I'm saying. And Cassie is literally giving me the look of like, for real. But that is Matt's Googling it right now, guys.
You said 126.
I didn't tell you which direction to go and where it's located. His neighborhood. I know the neighborhood.
Hey, look here, man. You either go left or you go right when you get off the exit. So,
hey, it's called Google Maps. It's called Google Maps.
No. You don't know what neighborhood, because there's a bunch of neighborhoods on that way. So, anyways, you're right though. Have better security, and stop wanting that you make oodles upon oodles upon oodles of dollars. Plain and simple. It, can't get any more cut and dry than that. Matt, what's going on in Atlanta? What can you surmise is the reason for Kirk Cousins has gone a month without throwing a touchdown.
I mean, honestly,
But he's thrown touchdowns to the other team. And he's thrown like 10 interceptions to 0 touchdowns. But what's going on, man? Is it time to say goodbye to Kirk Cousins?
Well, I won't even say it like that. They're just not putting him in positions to win. The first few weeks of the league, they didn't have game tape yet. They got game tape on him now. So get him out of that damn pistol, man.
Yes, he never ran the pistol his entire career. And you're putting him in a stupid college formation.
It's not that hard. Like it's not that hard. It's like sometimes these coaches, they overthink themselves out of common sense. Like, get him out of the pistol, man. And then let's see what happens there. I don't even think we need to bench him. He could throw the ball perfectly fine. When he threw that pick 6 to the Chargers, that was a nice ball. Like, it was a nice ball when he threw the pick 6. All his picks have been nice thrown balls, to the other team, unfortunately. But get him out of that pistol, man. I can see if we were, just bludgeoning other teams with the run, but we're not. We're not. You use the pistol. You use that to set up the play action, which we're not doing. Atlanta Falcons, they're last in the NFL in play action plays.
And that was what Kirk Cousins is, the most successful play action quarterback in the history of the NFL.
You know what?
And you're not using it.
That's so Atlanta Falcon. It's just Atlanta Falcon. So
all right. I'm going to tell you how to fix it right now. Go ahead.
But hold on now. Are they running the system because they want to win immediately, or could we see Penix come out here shortly?
No, they've already even said they're not going to do it. Coach Raheem Morris Stevens said he is not going to put him on.
They're running this style of offense to get his special, ability that he has besides Kirk Cousins. He can get out of the pocket, run and scramble, and make plays with his feet. Are they setting in this offense to give kind of, an introduction into what we're going to see maybe year 2 or 3, and kind of take the losses as they come right now to a next year. Although we got Cousins coming in, we've still got this viable option in the background.
Well, no, Shane, that's a great point. But the question is, will Raheem Morris be the coach when it's that time? No. Exactly.
Offensive coordinators are worse than drawers.
Zach Robinson's gone at the end of the year, I feel, because he's running a Madden offense.
Yeah, it's going to be like another Steve Sarkisian thing. One season and he's out.
Yeah, Jimmy Lake. Look, he may have looked pretty on paper, but dadgum, I even said to you, man, I told you at the beginning of this year, I said the 3-4 defense is going to kill the Falcons. Because this is, okay, folks, just so you know, the 3-4 defense was pretty in the late 90s, early 2000s, hell, even up to the early 2010s. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Falcons have always been built for a 4-3. And for God knows, whatever reason, I've never figured this out. And since Dan Quinn came in there, the Falcons, it's like they live and breathe by the god-darn zone. They live in the zone defense.
Yes.
Get out of it. Anybody can pick a stupid zone defense apart. I mean, literally, I can sit here and I can look at this. I look at this piece of paper and I'd say, oh, right away, they're running a zone. They're going to go right here, right here, right here, right here. That's literally how you do it. It's no damn sense why they're running a zone defense. 2016 was the last time the Falcons ran a man-to-man defense, and coincidentally, that was the last time the Atlanta Falcons were relevant. Yes, they did okay in 17. They haven't been in the playoffs in 17, but the Falcons went to the daggone Super Bowl in 16. We saw the mess that happened. We're not going to mention the 28-3 crap. But we're not going to. But regardless, they ran a man defense there. They were successful. 17, they started out as a man, and they said, "Oh, we're doing good. Let's switch it up." They switched it to a stupid zone. Falcons they struggled the back half of their season, got into the postseason, lost. They haven't been there since because they live in the land of zone. Yeah, and I don't, for whatever reason, know why. Jimmy Lake thought, let's go to a 3-4 zone because that's the best. I told Matt recently. I said, why don't they just go to like a 3-3-5 and play a college defense? Because everybody will pick them apart left and right and up and down. That's just. But I'm not going to digress on that one. Anyways, all right.
No, you go to a 4-2 with a 4-man as an edge rusher, pass the kind of guy.
I can see that, but regardless, 4 down lineman is better than what the stupid 3-4 is doing. And I don't know, but Matt, you just hit the nail on the head. It's Steve Sarkisian, Zach Robinson. Bye, Jimmy Lake. I hope you're gone before the second quarter starts against the Las Vegas Raiders. I can tell you now, if Desmond Ridder, who is slated to start against the Atlanta Falcons, if he somehow picks Atlanta apart, you're going to have a riot of biblical proportions in the city of Atlanta.
Penix will start the next game.
They will be screaming to fire Coach Morris.
Yeah. If Kirk can't outduel the Raiders QB, then we have a serious problem.
Yeah, we do. I mean, you went from being in control of your own destiny. So the defense, yes. Now I will tell you this: we have seen an uptake in the sacks. 2 games ago they had 4. The game before last, they had 6. This game they had 4. So they're getting better on the sack zone, yes. But you know what? You're not getting better at. You're not getting better at the stopping of the run. You're not getting better at the stopping of the passing.
Third down defense is terrible.
Third down, yeah, it's awful. I mean, whatever. Regardless, I'm telling you now, Coach Morris, if you don't want to have a biblical sized riot, your butt better be taking care of those play calls come against the Oakland Raiders or the Las Vegas Raiders, because if you lose, I guarantee you, hell, even Arthur Blank may tell you, don't even come into the locker room because you're going to be gone.
Yeah, don't get on.
Just saying.
Don't get
on the plane. All right, so guys, the transfer portal, it's here, and a lot of schools have benefited. A lot of schools have really hurt from it. Matt, I don't know if I told you this. I may have sent you. I don't know. My brain is scattered right now, but. University of Hawaii, they lost 14 key players to the transfer portal. And for 50 points, I'm going to give each of you a chance to answer. Why do you think they lost 14 players
for
coaching. 50 points?
Coaching.
No. So you're saying you have a chance to win 50 points?
Well, it's staff, but it's the one making all the decisions. And the biggest.
It's related to somebody who we had on our show.
Yeah. We had them on the show, and everybody loved them, and we saw the backlash because of what happened, with Craig, and I mean, hey, it's one of those things that a lot of people, I don't know what it is in college sports when you see some of these major changes happen, not only with ADs and coaches and stuff like that, but I mean. You're talking about, as we talked with Craig about uniform switches, just the little things that, can gain these, the new age of college athlete in the NIL and trustees and, all this stuff. I mean, it's a business now. And that's why we see people like Belichick possibly coming into the college ranks to be coaches, because they want to make it, that they're going to, basically have to use the professional model in college sports.
So this just in actually that it has been officially announced that UNC did hire Bill Belichick. So all right. It was related. It is related.
So my bad.
No, you hit it. So Craig, the reason why Hawaii lost 14 solid players is because of Craig Angelis not being there anymore. Dave Lassner did cost them that. But here's a player that I saw mentioned recently, and I sent this to Matt. Dylan Raiola, Mr. Patrick Mahomes 2.0 or whatever, from Nebraska. He is entered the transfer portal, and We saw issues with Matt Rule before, especially with Carolina. Shane, is Matt Rule really that toxic of a coach that one of the better quarterbacks who committed to Georgia, then split to Nebraska, is now going to the transfer portal?
Well, you look at it, and he was a great college coach at the time, and look at what he did with Raiola in this first year. It's one of those things that nobody expected Nebraska to be anything. Period. So we're looking at it as he brought the team around. If I'm not mistaken, they're going to a bowl game, right?
Yep.
That's greater than expected. He has a whole lot of demands, and I think that's what actually ran him out of being a professional ball coach, is because he was more geared towards the college system and expecting those demands of players without any kind of rebuttal or repercussion at that point.
You're right. And then Matt, you guys had a phenomenal wide receiver, Eric Singleton Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He's into the transfer portal.
Yeah.
What does that say to you?
Well, harping back on Dylan Raiola, people forget he was a UGA commit. He had committed to Georgia. He was going to be at UGA. He just at the last second flipped over to Nebraska. We could possibly be seeing him coming back to UGA. But anyways, yeah, that the Singleton one that hurts. He's the best wide receiver that Georgia Tech has. But from what I'm seeing, from what I could tell, just looking at his body language, things like that, I think he's just kind of tired of the run first QB thing, man, over there. Haynes was, if he saw a lane, he was running. And, it was more a lot of dink and dunk, as far as Singleton's concerned. He's a great wide receiver, man. Probably one of the best that's come through in a long time.
Who does he remind you of?
Yeah, well, he's not in the mold of Calvin Johnson or Baby.
I was about to say that.
He's not in those molds. He's in a mold of like a Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown. He's like in that kind of a mold of receiver. So usually we're used to Georgia Tech having a big 6'5", 6'4" receiver, one big 6'5", 6'4" receiver that they only throw to him whenever they throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been more well balanced this year, and they took UGA to the 8 overtimes. They should have won, but I think he's just more so upset at the fact of the type of offense. He'll definitely get looks. I can see him in Power 5, probably in the SEC school next year. I wouldn't be surprised. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if UGA got him. So
I was just about to say, what about that? So yeah. Shane texted me earlier today too, and said, "What'd you tell me about Virginia Tech? It's going to be a long 2025, and you guys got hammered, didn't you?"
Yeah, I hadn't looked too far into it yet to see exactly who I know. I know a few offensive linemen and stuff. We were a young team anyway. I believe maybe returning 16 possible before the transfer deal. So we'll see. Like I said, I got to read up on it, but we got a lot more going out than we got interest coming in from what I'm seeing. So, but you never know. Deal all over the place in the college football world this past year, and it's turned out two completely different ways. Virginia Tech, we returned like 20 of 22, and that was after the transfer portal, and we still ended up 6-6 mediocre team. And then you see other teams that we see Clemson, who had 0 transfer portals. The only other 2 teams in America were Army and Navy, who didn't, and because they don't allow transfers.
That's right. So they don't have NIL. So really,
yeah. So that's but we see them in the college football playoff. So
guys,
there's been a lot of parity in in college football this year, and hey, we won't know till they show up on the field next year, and hopefully we'll be down in Atlanta watching that game. I plan on.
So Matt and Shane, I got to show you something before we go. I continue on with this. So Addison had a project. She had to create a Christmas ornament after a character. So we chose Pig the Pug, right? Are you ready to see this? And this is actually phenomenal work. Look at that.
Oh,
Wow.
My wife, who is standing right behind me, right behind camera, she has got ear to ear, but she did this with Addison, folks. Look at, all right, so that's a picture of him in the book, and look at the ornament. That's pretty darn close, am I right? A plus on that
good.
one. So
looks good in my backyard.
it looks really good. So we wanted to share that with everybody. But then, also, all right, so back to what we were talking about, NIL, it's hit really good for University of South Carolina. True freshman edge rusher Dylan Stewart now this was Adam Schefter said this, and he said it's pretty sad that we even have to report this. Per Pete Nakos from On3, he has signed a new deal that would range between $1 million and $1.5 million to stay at the University of South Carolina. What?
Wow.
Congratulations.
The best business school in the state, so they've got the funds somehow.
And you have the right to say that because you guys beat Clemson. All right, and I just wanted to let you know, if you were asking me if it was true about Dylan Raiola leaving, this is the story. Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola plans to enter the transfer portal, and is according to On3 Sports. So On3 Sports did make mention of that one. Hey, real quickly, wanted to let you guys know. Do you remember the movie Meet the Parents?
Yep.
They are making Meet the Parents 4. And
Wait, I know. Yeah, Meet the Parents. Yeah, Meet the Fockers. What was the third one?
Little Fockers.
Little Fockers. Yeah,
yep.
Little Fockers.
Little Fockers. And this one is Meet the Parents 4. It is slated to come out in 2026. Robert De Niro confirmed it himself. He will be starring in Meet the Parents 4.
Still with Ben Stiller and everything.
Yep, Ben Stiller, whoever the girl was that played the wife. You gotta wonder what is next for the Meet the Parents.
They got to be.
When did you say
they were grandparents in the last one?
Yeah.
And Little Fockers.
But how long ago was Little Fockers? How many years ago was Little Fockers?
Yeah, it was 16 or 17 is when it came out.
And they got to be teenagers now.
Yeah. So, and they had kids.
They're
the parents now.
Yeah. Ben Stiller. He's the grandparent. Oh, yep. And
they're gonna be on the same team now. They're gonna be on the same team to get these new young bucks coming.
Oh yeah, that would make total sense. I like it. Oh yeah. And we just told you what Meet the Parents 4 will be about. It's Ben Stiller now is Robert De Niro, his position. And by the way, folks, don't ever name your kid Gaylord M. Fokker because you liked the movie. If you did, why? All right, guys, we had a really good episode. We got Matt and I and Shane. Thank God Shane's here because when we have all three of us, we literally are like, what is it? Peas and carrots, as Forrest Gump used to say. But we had such a great episode. We had Coach Bob Ritchie and Furman join us, albeit for only 15 minutes, but it was such an amazing time having him on. All right, I want to give you guys a little update as to what is coming up. Matt, I have to let you know, I reached out to Torrey Smith. You remember him?
I remember Torrey Smith, Baltimore Ravens.
Yep. So I reached out to him. His wife did reply. She said they are not taking requests, unfortunately, right now to have people come on the show. I was kind of bummed because I wanted Torrey Smith on. But she said she would keep us in mind for the future. His wife's name is Angie, by the way. So that was where we go. James Williams.
Just giving out governments today, huh?
I know, right?
Just giving out government information today. Addresses.
So
let me get a middle and a social too while you at it.
So I reached out to a gentleman named James Williams. He is a beat writer for the USA Today who covers UCLA sports. He will be coming on. He might be watching tonight, but he will be coming on in January. Addison, come here. I know you just woke up, but you are famous tonight, honey. Everybody say hi to Addison. She can't hear you, but you can hear her. And everybody knows about your love for Furman, as Coach Richie from Furman knows. And then everybody saw your Pig the Pug ornament. So say go Dens and have a good night.
Go Dens.
All right. So he is going to be coming on in January, Matt. He has set it up. Do y'all know who a Aubrey Huff is?
No, who's that?
Shane, do you know who Aubrey Huff is?
Is that the oh no, Aubrey Huff. Oh, the baseball player.
Yep. He is coming on in January as well.
I'm thinking Aubrey Hepburn with the cigarette thing in the mouth. Yeah.
So Aubrey Huff has agreed to come on. He is a two-time World Series champion.
He had one of the greatest stances in the batter's box.
So in case y'all wondering, this is my conversation with the said Aubrey Huff. He will be coming on in January for season 3. Hu'ule Agbenyani is of the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, excuse me. She will be coming on hopefully in the next couple weeks to talk some Hawaii men's and women's basketball. So we are excited about to have that. I particularly am excited about that just because we have him coming on. I'm in talks with the Arlington Renegades. Guys, please let everybody know, who are the Arlington Renegades a part of?
UFL is coming on in March.
And that's right. We have the Arlington Renegades. They will be coming on in season 3 as well. So as you guys see, we're getting more. We're starting to build up our calendar because season 2, Matt, as you know, is coming to an end soon. And we've told you guys constantly it's coming. So be prepared for it. So with that being said, y'all, you've let us bend your ear for an hour and 23 minutes. We topped out tonight, folks, at 64 people. Thank you so much for coming in. We know the views are coming. Really want to let you guys also know our episode with the South Carolina Ravens is currently at 5,802 views. Keep it going, guys. We really had a lot of fun with them on. They will be coming on again soon. Give a quick shout out to our good friend Vince, the Michigan Bullies indoor football team that he's a part of. They're having their tryouts tonight. Cheer them on. They start at 9 p.m. and go to 11 p.m. So let's cheer them on. Go Bullies, indeed. With that being said, guys, for our good friend, Mr. Coach Bob Ritchie of your Furman Paladins, Matt, what do you tell the people not to get done?
Stay out of trouble, guys. Let's be adults. Let's be responsible here. Don't get flagged.
That's right. Don't get flagged. You guys. Wait, hold on. I almost forgot before we go any further. Tequilas and easily. If you guys do see the tree behind me, which Matt is supposed to show his picture of his tree soon.
My tree's down.
Holidays are here. If you want to get your holiday party book, which you only have like 10, 12 days left or whatever to really get it booked, get a book now at Tequila's Grill in Easley, South Carolina. They are the most affordable, delicious, and authentic Mexican cuisine around. Give them a call today at 864-307-8028. Better yet, stop on by 5155 Calhoun Memorial Highway, Easley, South Carolina, 29640. Again, that's Tequila's Grill in Easley, some of the best Mexican food around. Shane, what do you tell the lovely people?
Hey, peace, love, and bacon grease.
Yes, peace, love, and bacon grease, indeed. And I love how he says that, because it kind of rolls off his tongue like perfectly. So, and he looks like a kind of guy who would take a peace, love, bacon grease. And Shane, having you on, man, we enjoy having it every time. We really do. Guys, as you know, I always tell you, peace up, A-Town down. Why? It's the greatest city for sports ever. You know what, though? Regardless of the fact that we have lost 4 straight for the Falcons, we still got Trae Young. We're playing in the quarterfinals of the NBA midseason cup with a chance to go to the finals of the cup. We're in, the Elite 8 or whatever?
That's going to be a good game. Trae back in New York. Trae back in New York. F Trae Young chance. Oh, man.
Hey, Orlando is beating Milwaukee right now. You just hit the nail on the head, Shane.
Hey, speaking of alternate broadcasts, you guys need to go watch the Datacast on True TV. It is a great to watch. It gives good insight, especially from players that are also in this in-season tournament to make the NBA more interesting.
That's exactly what I'm watching right now. Actually.
It's so funny you even said that. Dang.
Hey, right now, watching it right now.
Guys, we will be back on Friday. At least this face will be Shane. He may be, I don't know. We'll have to see how his schedule looks. But regardless, Matt and I will be on. Yes, I know the title was "How Can We Fix the College Football Playoffs Tonight?" But we had Coach Richie come on, and we had fun. We will talk in depth on Friday about how to fix the college football playoff system. So I want you guys to all think. Matt, think of a way you could make the college football system better, playoff system better, like selections, everything. Shane, you too. We'll come back and we'll talk about it on Friday. Sound good?
We'll see.
Let's get it. All right, guys. Until then, y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for everybody who watched tonight, and we will talk to you soon. And by the way, Hank, thanks for the advice, brother. Take care, guys, and we'll see you then. Good night.
Peace out.
Well, he just did. He just scored 8 points. That's the thing. He had a career